70% of digital transformation projects fail. Most don't fail because of technology. Welcome back to Careers Voice Unfiltered. Every company I have worked with has two roadmaps, the business roadmap and the IT roadmap. On paper, they are the same plan. In practice, they drift apart. Quietly at first, until the gap is impossible to ignore. Harvard Business Review studied this. They found clear symptoms: rising attrition, declining revenue, missed goals. This drift shows up most at moments of change, when a company pivots, when it scales, when it rebuilds. I have watched this happen many times in 25 years. I want to show you why this happens and what actually closes the gap. One quick question first. When a project runs late, who gets blamed first? IT or the business side? Drop IT or business in the comments. Let's see where people land. Here is the root of it. IT defines success one way, the business defines it another way. IT calls project successful when the system moves to the cloud. The business calls it successful only if it cuts downtime or speeds up delivery or moves a number the CEO cares about. Harvard Business Review and MIT studied this, over 1300 companies. Their finding was clear. The biggest driver of failure was not technology, it was unspoken disagreement among senior leaders about what the project was actually supposed to achieve. Two different definitions of success. Nobody forces them to match. So the roadmaps start aligned to paper and drift apart in execution. Let me give you an example. Not one project, a pattern. Something I have seen repeat across companies. I am generalizing it here, not tied to any one company. A business team wants to modernize how field engineers capture data, replace paper, replace long manual documentation, make it faster. On paper, it is an easy call. Lower costs, less manual work, faster updates. The business commits publicly. A timeline goes out. Leadership sets expectations. Then it reaches IT. IT finds a different reality. Old systems, never built to convert this way. Security checks that takes months, not weeks. And a licensing cost that looks fine for a small pilot but becomes massive at full scale. Across every engineer, every contractor, every partner. 6 months later, the timeline is no longer realistic. From the outside, it looks like IT is the reason the project is late. It wasn't. The data on why this keeps happening explains exactly what went wrong. It is not really about old technology. It is about missing checkpoint. The business committed before checking the feasibility, not out of carelessness, usually because IT was seen as an execution partner, not a planning partner, brought in after the decision, not during it. If IT has been in the room during planning, not to approve the idea, just to pressure test it, the same constraints would have surfaced in week 1, not month 6, and the roadmap could have been built around them from the start. A few patterns sit underneath this. I see them repeat across companies. First, fragmented ownership. Different teams set their own priorities in isolation. Nobody sees the full picture. Two priorities quietly compete for the same budget. The same people. Nobody notices until both projects fall behind. Second, outputs instead of outcomes. IT roadmaps get written as tasks. Migrate this, upgrade that. Business roadmaps get written as results. Faster delivery, lower cost, better experience. Nobody translates one into other. So technology looks like a cost center, not the thing driving the outcome. Third, planning that moves too slowly. Annual planning cycles don't bend easily. A supplier changes, a regulation shifts, a market moves. IT can't respond fast enough. So business stops waiting and starts deciding without IT in the room. That is often where the drift becomes permanent. So what works? Here is what actually holds roadmaps together. 1. A shared goal, written in business terms. Not migrate the legacy system, something closer to reduce downtime by 15% this year. When technical work is framed around a business outcome from day one, IT stops looking like a separate track. 2. A standing group, not a one time meeting. People from operations, finance, and IT meeting on regular schedule, not just when something breaks. Their job is to catch drift early while it is still small. 3. A real way to prioritize. Not politics, not whoever escalates loudest. A shared framework built by both sides. So when IT says no, it's because of a rule everyone agreed to, not because IT is being difficult. 4. Talk to people differently. Leadership wants business impact. Operations wants to know what's changing and when. IT wants technical dependencies. Using the same message for everyone is often where trust quietly breaks down. So here is the part most people miss. When roadmaps drift, it rarely looks like a crisis at first. It looks like a delay, a budget conversation, an awkward update in a steering meeting. But drift compounds. Value gets delayed. Money gets wasted on projects racing in different directions. And slowly trust breaks down. Business sees IT as unresponsive. IT sees business as unclear and constantly changing its mind. Neither side is wrong. They are just solving for different definitions of success without realizing it. Technology is rarely the real constraint. The real constraint is this: does IT sit at the table early enough to matter? Not after the commitment is already made. Have you seen a roadmap drift apart like this? Where was the missing checkpoint in your experience? Tell me in the comments. One more thing before you go. While researching this topic, I noticed something. Harvard Business Review and McKinsey both studied why these projects fail, and they came to two different diagnoses of the same problem. In the next video, I will break down where they agree, where they disagree, and why that gap between two credible sources might be more useful than either one alone. If you want to see how I actually read and compare research, that video is coming up next.